Welcome to the Actor's Choice, where the actors and actresses have a chance to talk about themselves and their careers. Join us now for the next hour as we explore the marvelous industry of acting by actors and actresses from today's exciting show business world. And now, direct from Hollywood, here's your host, Ron Brewington.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ron Brewington, and welcome to the Actor's Choice. Roll it, Tony.
I know you're probably sleeping. I got this thing I keep thinking. Yeah, high in mid up drinking. The void is back and I'm blinking. I cannot stop.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have just seen a taste of my first guest today. He's an Academy member, a Recording Academy member, and a European Academy member. Wow. He's also a multi-award winning composer with more than 150 soundtracks. That's what I said, 150 soundtracks for both film and television. Gentleman moves, just keeps on moving. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Sarah Morin, a.k.a. Simo. Greetings, Morin, and welcome to the Actor's Choice. First of all, where were you born?
Hey, first of all, thank you for having me. I was in a small town, 200 miles from Paris, and it was a town when there was a castle where they are the Castle of the Loire, which means all the kings and queens who established their home there.
Beautiful picture there. Beautiful. When was the last time you were home?
Oh, I was in this city probably a couple of weeks to visit my mother. Yeah, absolutely.
Give her my best, please. God bless her.
Yes, absolutely. She's turning 90.
Woo! 90. That's 90.
Yeah.
Another occasion happened in your country. Could you please tell us what it is?
Oh, it was a reopening of Notre Dame. And it was very moving I think for the world, but for the people who lives in Paris was a great moment, absolutely. And Saturday I had a dinner with some donor who helped to rebuild the cathedral, and I couldn't stop to thank them.
I took a moment and put it down on paper, what 150 events that you've done. From 1989, you got your first one. In 1990, you didn't get anything. But from 1991 till the present, you've been getting more and more composer credits, episodes, everything, documentaries, aka docs as they call them. I mean, you're just getting out there. Wow.
Yeah, I was lucky because I wasn't supposed to do film score. I wanted to do songs and work for other singers. And until the day someone told me, "Oh, your music fits very well on the picture." I had no idea. And so the good thing, and probably that's also sometimes a struggle, that I try to believe in it. I try to believe it was true. So I decide, oh, I'm a film composer. And then that was probably 30 years already. I'm a film composer.
Here's a picture that you might remember, might take you back in time. I believe it's called "Tis No Guardian of the Jungle."
Oh, yeah. That's not very far. Maybe it's 10 years, 12 years. But the more important film I started with, which is still a cult movie, is called Samsara, one from 2001. And it's still millions of streamings every year.
What are you doing these days? Could you tell our audience? What are you doing?
Absolutely. I just released a documentary I directed. It's my first documentary as a director. It's called One Voice, Searching for Michael Spears. And the reason I did the documentary is because 10 years ago, I did my first feature film as a director about the Wounded Knee insurrection in 1973. And I met an actor, a native actor called Michael Spears, where we really bond together. And I heard a couple of stories from his family who was involved in the insurrection, his brother who was born during the insurrection, him doing the Sundance, which is a special ceremony, kind of very difficult ceremony. And I wanted to know more. So I decided to do a documentary about him. But why I call it Searching for Michael Spears, because he wasn't easy to catch. So I remember going to Bozeman, Montana, where he's living, and going there, calling him several times. He was not there. I was just, it's far away, Bozeman, Montana, you know. So I 5 years later, I finally catch him and I say, I want to do an interview with him, with you. And we decide about a day. I went to Montana. This day, only this day was snowing like crazy. And that's a movie. That's a movie. I'm searching for him. And so I'm very glad we did this. And the One Voice is it's the first episode of a series called One Voice, where I'm going to give the voice to special subjects, special people, and I'm going to try to do once a year.
Interesting. I understand that you said it was released on November 26th.
So actually, it was released 2 days ago on iTunes. It's released today on Google and YouTube in the States and in Canada, and pre-order in other countries. But the US version is released, yeah. And I'm just waiting for Amazon, but it should be a couple of days.
Okay. Tony, can you show us number 13? Oh, thank you. Look at that. Look at that. That's nice.
Yeah,
That's a good picture there.
yeah, it's very good. He's a great actor. Michael started with Dance with the Wolf with Kevin Costner, and now he's in Yellowstone, in the prequel of Yellowstone,
Okay.
and he has all this experience as an actor. But the more we are talking about is his experience, personal experience as a Lakota person, and also about his parents, and now, like how it was now and then, and how it is then. So it's very moving documentary, since he's going back to his memory. And there is so many things I didn't know, and I'm sure there is so many things the audience doesn't know and will discover in this documentary, because we know all our history. We know all our legends, you know, the way we were born with legendary people, etc. But we don't know this history from a native Sioux Lakota person. We have no idea. With stories for the kids, who are the stories for the kids, who with what is the best and the worst in their life, you know, we have no idea. So this film is a good way to bring to the audience many stories and elements that were sometimes under the carpet, you know, and that needs to be discovered.
You're gonna like this. We got a copy of that.
Oh.
My parents and my grandpas and grandmas chose to hang on to their identity through all of the turmoil. You know, I can't even imagine not being able to speak Lakota, not being able to sing or practice my ceremonies.
When you take you'll get a chance when you get back to your house to turn the volume up. Yes, that was beautiful. When and where do you get ideas for what you want to do?
Well, I follow my heart, you know, I just follow my heart. I know there is so many pressure in this world, and especially the artist world, to ask you to do this or do this. And yeah, of course I'm listening, but I follow what I want to do. But since I'm a kid, I mean, we have this, so many stories we hear when we are kids, and later I just wanted to do it, to discover what I learned when I was a kid or an adolescent, you know. So coming to the States as a French guy, starting to work there, doing film there, doing music there, meeting the greatest people we have today, thanks to my my position today, and it's just amazing. It's just amazing, and that's that I continue to follow what I feel to do, and all the next projects are like this. I'm always experiencing new media, new stories, and new experiences.
My favorite, just I'll share this with you. My favorite four-letter word. My favorite four-letter word. You ready?
Go ahead.
Idea.
Oh, yeah. Idea.
Everything you do starts with an idea.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
It's easy to have an idea. It's easy to start, but
Yes.
it's difficult to finish.
Yes.
So this documentary, One Voice, it was hard to finish because we have to go to a final cut. We have to go to the technical stuff. Until the last day, it was a lot of work. But if you're not ready to if you everybody is ready to start, but if you're not ready to end a project, which means a lot of effort, then you're in trouble.
Any chance of taking that to Cannes Film Festival, as they say, the Cannes Film Festival?
No, it's not a Cannes Film Festival. Cannes is a very certain kind of film with a certain kind of programmation. So I know it's not going to go there. And, by working as an independent producer, director, I like also the fact of we can do this interview online, but we can be also release a movie online, communicate online, and not necessarily go to the usual circuit of promotion and create something new. And I self-distribute this movie with my production, and I think it's a great experience to try to go in a different path, and still reach an audience.
So everybody's been moving around on a situation. That situation is AI. What's your thoughts about it, sir?
Okay, I think I will give you two clues because we had so many talk in our profession about that. But this is my personal vision. The first one is it is true that all the base of the pyramid of the music and film production will be taken by AI. Television, cinema, documentary, there will be a big base taken by AI, especially for the music, But for the high profile project, there will still be work for the artist, for sure. People who want to be different. And why is going to be because you can compare to the glasses for the 3D movies. When it was released, everybody thought we're going to see every movies with 3D glasses, and it wasn't true. Then it's not because you do something with AI that is going to work. It's going to be successful, not necessarily. And last, I think for the artist, the big hope is to say that AI works with the past.
Yes.
We work with the future. We have idea. We take our ideas in the future, not in the past. But AI has only the past, so we can do better.
Keeping up with the test kit with this, all these new technology. All you're seeing, this is new. This is new. How do you stay up with it?
So I just read a great book called Nexus by Yuval Noah Harari, who wrote Sapiens. The book Sapiens, Homo Sapiens. And I think I read that 20 years ago. I think the luxury we will have in the future is to not go too much with the technology, is to have moment without. So if we use it just for the work, just for some communication, but go back to a much more simple communication and put all the technology aside in our life. Like as I saw in the news today that Australia is forbidden social media for the kids under 16. That's what the future is going to be. The rules will be like this. And I think we have to take advantage of the technology, but at the same time, we will go away from the technology. And believe me, many people will have a very simple phone in the future. Just text and calls. And that's it. We have to stay away from that a long part of the day. That's what I think.
Cyril, you just finished one project. What's your next? Any new projects? Can you talk about it?
Yes, so I'm working on the next One Voice documentary. I'm developing a series about a famous photographer in the US. It's in development. I have also an album in development, which is going to might be a Simo album, since it's a different project than what I do usually. But the great news as a composer is that I'll have a compilation released next year. It's going to be the 25th anniversary of my film scores. So meaning 25 years, 2025, 25 tracks, 25 film.
Cyril, when you say 150 over, I say to myself, not bad. The industry says not bad.
Not bad. Yeah, I'm close. Actually, my IMDb credits are close to 200.
Um,
Yeah.
all I want to say is thank you, thank you, thank you. I wish we had more time. You see, that's what happens when you get 150 soundtracks. But please come back again if you would.
I would love to, and thank you so much, Ron, to having me, and I wish you all the best. All the
I
best.
know we'll take it in. We'll take it in. And please come back again. And thanks to your publicist, a good friend of both of us, Philip Sokolov.
Absolutely. Thank to
No,
him.
he's an actor. You do know he's an actor.
I know he's.
Oh, yes. A lot of folks don't know that. He's an actor. Like that guy. He's really on the ball. On the ball. Okay. And best wishes to you, sir. Best wishes.
Thank you so much. Take care. Bye-bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, Cyril Marin. This is the Actor's Choice. I'm your host, Ron Brewington. Roll it, Tony.
Oh.
Hi, are you John?
I am John.
Nice to meet you. I'm Peyton.
She's tell me more of that.
More what?
Ladies and gentlemen, my next guest today is a multi-award winning director and a filmmaker celebrated for his own dedication to crafting compelling and innovative stories. Now, you just saw a cut of one of his movies. This one was called Peyton Burden. He knows what I'm talking about. It was so far, that's a wonderful piece of work that you've done there. Thank you. You came behind a guy who had 150. You know, you ain't there yet, but you're going to get there. I can tell you right now. You have that attitude and spirit, you're going to get there. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Chase Dudley. Hi, Chase. Hi, Chase. How you doing, brother?
How's it going? Thank you. That was quite the introduction. I was like, keep going.
It's for real. It's who you are. When I see paper all the time, I say, yeah. And I ran upon you and I said, well, look at this, a young man. Where were you born at?
I was born in Atlanta, Georgia, but I was raised in Louisville, Kentucky.
All right. Atlanta, GA. All right.
Yeah. A lot of my family are still there. So
Man, there's always something going on. There's a lot of work that goes into what you did. Tony, would you take him to number 39 for just a second so folks can see who this is? So this picture's coming up in just a second. Number 39 coming up in just a second. Coming up in there's Tony. Tony. Let me find it. He's looking for it right now. But while he's finding this is what I call a good picture. When I saw it, I said to myself, this guy has got something going on. I'm talking about this guy, I'm talking about you. You are doing some good work.
thank you.
This is I'll tell people while he's finding it. It is a picture of you and a lady named Samantha.
Oh, my lovely wife, man.
There you go. Thank you, Donnie.
You know, a lot of who I am really goes to her because she laid down the foundation of what I wanted. And you know, I cannot thank her enough because she was also trying to find her path as a musician, and she's seen in filmmaking I was trying to tackle on way too much, and it's just impossible in filmmaking to do so many different things. See, her as a musician, you can do a lot of those things on your own. Most musicians do. But in film, I cannot be in front of the camera, behind the camera, making notes and all of these things that require that. And she really set a path to the foundation of what A Cut to the Chase Entertainment is.
Next time you come, bring her with you, please. Or if you want some.
I definitely will.
Okay.
She doesn't really like doing interviews. She has done some, but she's like, I just prefer to be behind it. She's like the mystery. Like I mentioned her a lot, and everybody was like, well, where is she? And I'm just like, she's a very shy. She's a doer. She's just not a talker. She's a doer. You know.
And the kids?
Oh man, it's funny. I never thought in a million years my kids would be on my set. Like my daughter was helping with beauty and makeup for my last two projects, and my son, he's really found his niche of doing slate, and he's very attention to detail. I think he got that from his mom, and I think my daughter is a social butterfly, and I think she got that from me. And then our youngest, Bryson, who is 2, we don't know what he's gonna do yet. He's just all over the place.
What made you go into filmmaking? Tell us about that. Oh.
I was growing up, I was a very shy, believe it or not, I was a very shy kid, and I didn't make friends the way my brothers did. So a lot of times I stayed to myself, and while I was to myself, I loved cinema. I always watched cinema, and I would watch Child's Play 100 times a day. I would watch Jurassic Park. I was just always consuming movies, and I thought growing up that I wanted to be an actor because that's all that I seen. So when I tried to get into acting in my teens, we didn't have social media then. So it wasn't like, so I had no idea that there were so many people a part of filmmaking doing what I was doing. So it was almost impossible to join. It was just like, I'm like, what do I have to do to be in a movie? So anytime I see somebody with a camcorder, I'm always like, hey. Now, but
So you look at that picture. Look at you. Look at you.
Yeah.
Doing your thing. Thank you, Tony.
Yeah, and then so my parents got me a camcorder at 15 years old. And that was I've never put it down. I was always filming something. And although I wanted to be an actor, I can't direct myself. So I had to get my cousins and a lot of my friends, they always thought I was weird because I'm like, hey, do this real quick. And I'm like, I don't want to do that, man. I want to play basketball. What's wrong with you? So when I started really, like MySpace really changed a lot of stuff. And then, of course, Facebook. And then I started finding there was people doing it. So I started off doing short films, and I always try to put myself in them. And man, acting and directing is 2 different mediums. So people who could do it, like Tyler Perry, Clint Eastwood, people who
Chase Dudley. Chase Dudley.
I don't do it anymore because now I'm working with budgets where I felt, because Payday was that first project where I looked at my wife before we went on set, and I can remember now. I stressed her out because this was the first project we got an investment for, and I was going to originally be star as Darnell, and it was just creating a shot list and just knowing I'm borrowing somebody else's money. I just looked at her a month before shooting. I said, honey, I'm going to step down from playing Darnell and I'm going to focus on directing. And she's like, what? But go ahead.
Because I took a look, I went back to see some of the things that you did. In 2008, you got your first job as a director. You did Last Breath.
Yes.
Then you fast forward to 2013, you did Final Offense as an actor, but also as a director.
Mm-hmm.
Then in 2014, you did producer, director. I can see what you were doing. You were there. I mean, you were doing and each one of these, as you know, you have to have your hands out there doing something. I mean, within itself is a full-time job. But here you're doing that, doing this. I see where you're coming from. Yes.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Yes. Oh, so which one you hanging on to now? Just the acting?
No, I'm focusing now strictly on directing. I feel I am much more of a director than I am an actor. And I think I did okay as actors, but I'm working with actors now who do this for a living as a profession. And they're able to give me emotions and performance that I know I will never be able to do. And it is such a delight watching them work.
We said that you're a producer, director, and actor, but we didn't say the gentleman is a casting director.
Yes. I do things a little different. I know like most, like I know some directors everybody has a different process. Hollywood usually somebody finds
Mhm.
the cast for the director. For me, I like to know when I'm pitching the script and I'm working closely with my screenwriter because I also have to produce a story that is by me. So I always make sure that when I'm collaborating with the screenwriter, I always want to make sure I have somebody in mind. And all of that is before I shoot the first frame of film. And I'm very particular, and I like to make sure I have a say of who I'm working with. Because I think the only person can really get that is me. It's more stressful, I'm sure, but
You use these little guys?
oh, I sure do.
Yeah. I mean, back in my day,
Smartphones.
we didn't have this. Now y'all got it. I call it the
Yes.
second brain. That's what I call it, the second brain.
You are absolutely right. And I take advantage of that because in order to get through my day, I had to have several notifications. I have to tell Siri,
Yes.
Siri, I swear she's my maid because I'm like, hey Siri, at 12 o'clock, remind me to cook dinner. Hey Siri, 3 o'clock, make sure that I stop what I'm doing on work and go pick up my son. It's just because it work doing this for a living, time just I feel like I wake up and like I blink and the day's over.
Yeah. Who are some of the directors that you admire?
And Steven Spielberg,
Mhm.
it definitely is the one that really made filmmaking in Hollywood the place to be. I would definitely say James Cameron had a big hand in there. Quentin Tarantino, with his revolutionary writing style and his unique directing approach I think he's the perfect remixer. I think a filmmaker that does not get enough credit. I think F. Gary Gray. Um, F. Gary Gray, if you look at some of the movies that this man has done, and he's not in the conversation of one of the greats, it's really amazing. And the fact that he started directing music videos and then he went into Friday, then he did The Negotiator, then he did Set It Off, then he did the Italian Job remake. He's directed some really amazing body of work, and I, he never gets mentioned in the conversation of greats. So I wanted to give him his flowers.
And back from your home of Atlanta, Georgia, Tyler Perry.
Yes.
Tyler Perry.
Yes. Tyler Perry, definitely. I like his plays more than his movies. I love his movies, but I like his plays. I think for me, I definitely loved Diary of a Mad Black Woman. I loved his movie Daddy's Girls. I think those two movies, I think he's also one of those filmmakers that I don't think he gets a lot of contributions of what he has done a lot for the movie industry and and building his own empire in Atlanta, Georgia, and really making Atlanta become the new Hollywood. I don't think he gets that achievement. I don't think he gets mentioned enough.
Film festivals. You go to them or you've been there. How do you like that?
I like film festivals. I know everybody feels differently about it, but to me, I feel that film festivals is a great way of networking. It is definitely still just as relevant. I think you're in an industry where it's who you know. And I don't go to as much as I would like. But the ones that I have been to, I wish I could have traveled with my recent film, Broken Innocence. It has won some major awards in the top 5 festivals in Europe. It was playing in India, which is one of the biggest festival sites in the world. And I really wanted to go to the Best Actors and Directors Film Festival in New York. We won pretty big there, and it was a beautiful festival. But we was filming our film Blood in the Bleachers, which I, I I wish I would have had more. I wish I would have said a little more of a breather to kind of enjoy that moment. But the reality was, I never really had a film that performed as well as Broken Innocence on a festival circuit. I went in with this film with no expectations, and I learned because my film Payday. I thought that movie was going to really do very well in festivals. It was a film that I felt very good about, and it didn't get invited, not even to one, and it crushed me. It really crushed me. I was very happy, so I was like, I learned to tame my expectations. And I just went. I submitted to all these festivals, and I just was prepping my movie Blood in the Bleachers, and I'm like, well, it's not going to do much, but hey, we never know. And next thing you know, we start getting all of these notifications, and it's going to some really big festivals, and I'm like, holy moly! I wish I would have had enough time to go to the UK, because by the time when we found out and they invited us, it was like literally less than 2 or 3 weeks. I didn't have. I couldn't prep. I didn't have a passport for one. But I really wanted to be there because it was that film festival was so like they really wanted us to be there. I was so applauded that we are in the top 5 festivals in Europe. I was lost for words. And
And
the
film
film
festival, did you say?
um I forgot the name of it because we went to 16 or we won 16 awards. So
Oh,
I was so applauded because again, I had a film that went to festivals, but nothing ever came of it. You never heard anything else. It's just like it's selected. Okay, I guess it did well. But this one we were getting notifications it was winning, and we were on set for Blood in the Bleachers, and um I was in the middle of filming this very important scene, and my phone kept blowing up. And I'm like, what in the world is going on? Did a crisis happen? And then, my wife answers it and she's like, he's filming right now. What is it? And they were like, you won 9 awards in one festival. And the good thing was Ariana Harris, who did a phenomenal job in Broken Innocence, was on set for Blood in the Bleachers. And so I'm glad that I was able to run to go tell her because, of course, she won big. She won Best Actress. My Paul T. Taylor won Best Actor. My cinematographer, who I've been working with for the last 3 years, he was there and he won Best Cinematographer. We won Best Sound. We won Best Plot. We swept the all of the lists of the categories of that festival, which was the so bad, so bad. The Imaginarium Film Festival. It was in Louisville, Kentucky, which is where I live, and it's a very nice film festival. It's been around for like 11 years. Very wonderful people. I never won big like that ever, and I just know we worked very hard on that film, so it was we was very happy, and it was nice to have everybody there, and we all high-fived and we all hugged and we all took a really big picture of because my stunt coordinator was there, he won, my special makeup effects artist won. It was it was such a really surreal feeling that I seen my everybody's excitement and their faces all lit up for because we did it was a really great shoot.
you got a good attitude, my friend. You got a very good attitude. It's
Thank
good to
you,
be
man.
around.
I'm grateful.
Mhm.
Um, I even never thought that I would be telling stories for a living, and I think it's a privilege, and I try not to take these moments for granted, but it was such a great moment of just seeing so many dedicated, hardworking people, you know, win and just seeing my wife, tears in her eyes, and she's just smiling big. Um, she was always was like, "You're going to be something special." And even when times where it didn't feel like it, and even what I respect about my wife so much is even through some of my bitter days of where I wasn't where I wanted to be, she stuck by my side. Um, you know, and I would always appreciate that because she's put up with a lot.
Got you. But you're doing well with the numerous work that you've done, that you're doing. Please, when you come back again, bring that beautiful wife of yours to
I sure will. I'm going to tell
here,
her.
please. And thank your publicist and manager, my good friend Joe Williamson.
Yes, he is amazing. He is amazing. Thank you so much, Joe.
Indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, Chase Dudley.
Thank you.
Okay, this is the Actor's Choice. I'm Ron Brewington. Roll the photos, Tony. Our next guest today has marvelous when it comes to having a job. He's around a lot of celebrities and others. He developed his God-given talent with no formal training. When you see his work that we're going to put on him today, ladies and gentlemen, you'll see the very, very best. Okay. So please welcome Clarence J. Pointer. Hi, Clarence. Is your mic on? Is your mic
Here we
on?
go.
There we go.
Here
Yeah.
we go.
Okay, please welcome. Welcome to the Actor's Choice. Thank you so very, very much. Folks, I want to let you know this gentleman, how I met him. I was at where we were at a movie. No, wasn't a movie. It was a play.
Play. The
And
veteran play.
I walked in the door and this gentleman, I happened to see some pictures up. And I went over, I looked at it. I said, would you look at this? And Tony, can you put on number, let's see, which one is that? That's number 43. It's a Tuskegee Airman. Oh yeah, thank you. That's one of the things, that was one of the first devices that I saw. And I went over to it and I looked at it and I said, and he said, he was talking about it to someone else. And I said, would you look at this work that this man has done. And that's how we met, ladies and gentlemen. That's how we met. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So you said, where were you born at, sir?
Little small town in Hillsborough, Alabama.
Alabama. Oh, yes.
Yes, sir.
Speaking of Alabama, I got pissed yesterday. Alabama is not going to be in the finals anymore. Football.
You know, that was a bunch of crap. I'm like, I'm not so disheartened that they're not in. It's who got in over them.
So, yeah,
You
very,
know,
very disappointed.
so
Very disappointed.
let's move on. I'm you're gonna get me upset.
Yeah. And as they say in the business, what you gonna do? Oh boy, next year.
Yes, sir.
All right. I understand, and let's talk about how you got into this business. You grew up in Hillsborough, a little small town in Alabama. But when did you know that you had the talent to do work that you do?
You know, honestly, it didn't find me. I mean, I didn't find it. It found me.
Ah.
You know, once you got it, if it's in you, it's gonna come out. So at birth, you know, and then throughout the early years of winning art contests and getting the notoriety in magazines across the country. You're probably young enough to remember this magazine called Soul Team.
Okay, yes.
It was like a Right On magazine. But every month they would have art that was submitted by individuals across the country.
Yes.
To go in their back of their spread. Open the back up. Those 2 pages was full of artwork with art from people across the country. And I had one in that magazine that had done JJ from Good Times.
Wow.
At 14 years old.
You have a unique style of drawing. Tell our friends about this.
Well, you know, each artist is unique in their own way.
Yes.
And when you develop your own way of doing things over the years, by not mimicking anyone else, just use what's in front of you, see what you see, draw what you see, use your own techniques. That's how I develop what I do. I mean, my objective is to capture the essence of the drawing, the optimum detail. Every little thing I can see, I try to put that into the art piece.
Joe's. Yep. I understand that you always believed in creating realistic, detailed masterpieces from scratch.
Yeah. Each piece is different.
Yes.
And I'm not a software junkie. So anything you see I do is all from the head to the hand to the pencil to the paper. No Photoshop. I had to put a disclaimer on my drawing sometimes to say it's not Photoshop because people think they're so realistic, they think they're photographs sometimes.
Right. Now, I heard and understood that you joined the United States Air Force.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for giving some time to your country. Thank you very much. Thank
Yes,
you.
sir.
I'm a retired Navy man myself, so I know what it feels like. Indeed, indeed. But you were in Okinawa, Japan, and you had a chance to meet some people out there. Tell us about how it affected you.
Well, I met a lot of people over there. But to backtrack a little bit, I had stopped drawing for 2 years
Okay.
because I got B in art class at a local college before I joined the Air Force. So once I joined, certain individuals, a captain, a colonel, sergeant, people saw my artwork and said, "Man, you gotta do something with this." So I was very uh, what they what the word I'm looking for. Um, I wasn't tuned into the idea of doing it again,
Okay. Okay.
but
Okay.
God had bigger plans.
Amen.
You know,
G-O-D.
He did.
Indeed. Wow. Well, you came back to this country, I understand, and then throughout Southern California, you gained international status for the work that you were doing.
Oh yeah, you
Yeah.
know, uh, just getting back to the forefront of things and actually uh, rededicating my talent and the
Uh-huh.
passion to what I was doing really paved the way. It
Mhm.
really paved the way, uh, and listen to others
Yes.
who well, one guy in particular, when I was in Japan, the Okinawan guy told me to put more time into my craft,
Yes.
and you see better results. Uh, and don't bounce all over the place. Stick to what works for you. And the pencil is what works for me, and that's why I come to pencil man because I didn't bounce around. I probably could do sculptures, paintings,
Mhm.
watercolor,
Mhm.
stuff like that. But there's
Yes.
enough artists out there that can do that kind of thing. Uh,
Yeah.
I stay in my lane.
Okay.
So,
Question. How can I get into, I want some of your pictures. How can I get in touch with you?
um, well, like I told a guy on CBS News, just Google me. Uh, Clarence Pointer .net is my website.
Yes.
Uh, dot cards
Uh-huh.
slash pencil man is a link to all of my stuff. I mean, like
Gotcha.
I said, basically just Google me and you'll see me. Uh, all my interviews with CBS, ABC, Fox. But you know, my best type of interviews are the ones I'm having right now.
All right. All right.
You know,
All right. We got a couple of pictures that we'd like to show. Tony, can you start with number 44? This is look at some of these stuff, some of your work. Can you tell us what that is? Can you see? Can you see it?
I can't see it.
Oh my God! Oh, there it is. Okay, it's an artist in partnership program. It's just pictures of you standing there. Okay, can you take us to the next one, Tony? That is you and a guy named Dick Gregory. There you are
Oh,
standing in the picture. Okay.
that guy.
Okay. Yes.
Well, that's probably my second most prestigious art presentation,
Okay.
uh, besides the one of Rosa Parks. Uh,
Okay.
I got invited to a annual comics convention
Okay.
several years ago, and Dick Gregory was the keynote speaker.
Oh, okay.
And of course, to call the guy who they can rely on to create the drawing, which was me,
Mhm.
they know I was going to produce my best piece. And listening to him for an hour, I was in awe. It was enlightening, entertaining, educational. You know Dick Gregory, full of knowledge, right? So he was blown away, as they all are, because they had no idea what's happening until it happens.
Yes. Your next picture is you and Smokey Robinson.
Oh, no, it was a good one.
Yeah.
Well, that one was actually Smokey Robinson's first annual celebrity golf tournament. I think
Right.
2005 or 2006.
Mm-hmm.
I heard he was having the event on the radio.
Yes.
So I called the number. You know, I don't sit back and wait for things to happen. You know, I make it happen.
Yes.
So I called, made arrangements to have a display at his event.
Uh-huh.
Uh, who was there? Jack Cave, Leonard Watts,
Yes.
Richard Gant, you know, uh, Barry Gordy. You know, it was amazing.
Yeah.
It was
He just
amazing.
he just turned 95, Mr. Gordy.
Yes,
Yes. Looking good.
yes.
Looking good. Next patient is a friend of both you and I and a whole lot of people. She's a former Republican. Her name is Diane E. Watson.
Oh
And
yeah.
there you are
Oh,
with a picture with her.
oh yeah. That was one of those events where matter of fact, it was this time last year.
Okay.
I get a call from a event promoter in LA
Uh-huh.
asking me to bring some artwork to her uh, documentary, her
Yes.
legacy documentary.
Mhm.
Well, I was like, sure. Um, Diane Watson. I heard the name, but it didn't ring a bell
Yeah.
initially. So I Googled her. I said, oh, that's Diane Watson, you know? So I called him back. I said, I'd rather come with one piece, not several pieces, if you
Yeah.
don't mind.
Mm-hmm.
So he says, what piece that you want to bring? I said, Diane Watson. He's like, you have one with Diane? I said, not yet. He said, it's next week. I said, I know. So within a week's time, I created that piece, brought it to the event. She was blown away. Uh, everyone who was there was blown away, actually. You know, so it was history. It was also her 90th birthday.
Okay.
All
right.
That weekend.
The next person that we have that we took a picture of is a young lady who's a dear friend of mine, April Sutton. Yeah. Beautiful young lady. And there you are with her. Dear friend.
Yeah. You know, April Sutton, of course, she's legendary. You know, BET journalist from back in the day with Diane Simpson and all those guys. Never would I thought I would meet her, but I've met her probably at 3 different events over the last year. You know, and she's a sweetheart.
Yeah. Oh, because I'm always there for her every year. I'm usually the voice of that event. You and I might have met each other and did it in another place in the ship or someplace else.
It's probably even know.
Okay. The next one is a photo of the Actor's Choice. Point. There's a picture of you and some other people that you took of us back in the day. When we first started this, we've been doing this now on this show for about 9 years. We have fun doing this. I call it STD, something to do. That's what it is. Indeed.
Absolutely.
Indeed. You mentioned one other name there a moment ago. You said Rosa Parks. And you are standing with her in a picture. That's a beautiful. What can you say about that, sir?
I got chill bumps right now.
I hear you.
Well, back in 1993,
Right.
while I was serving in the Air Force, she was coming to my area for Black History Month. And I knew she was coming. And I told my wife, I said, I'm going to do a portrait of Rosa Parks. I'm going to present it to her. I don't know how it's going to happen, but God's going to make a way. 2 weeks before the event, I get a call from NASA Aerospace. And the big wig there, I call him Mr. Art Nash. He got his wings since then, but he called me and said, Clarence, do you think you have time to do a drawing of Rosa Parks? Now I'm like 99% done already. So I said, yes, Mr. Nash, I have one stipulation. He said, what's that? I said, it got to go from my hand to her hand. Not some general, not some colonel, not some big wig from NASA. He said, I don't have a problem with that. So I said, I'll be by tomorrow to pick up my check. So that was a great experience. I mean, they called me on the podium to present to her, and she was like, "Oh, this is so lovely. Thank you, young man." And I get a kiss on the cheek from Rosa Parks.
Thank you very much for being a guest here on the Actor's Choice. Please give us your contact number again if you can.
Yes, you can dial me directly. Just text me first.
Yes.
661-916-2046. or you can Google me, Clarence Pointer, Pencil Man.
Yes.
Website is Clarence Pointer at clarencepointer.net.
All right. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope to run into you again.
We will. Oh, we will. We will.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Did I give you a silver dollar by any chance? Did I do that?
I'll take one.
Okay, I'll make sure I see you when I get there.
Thanks for having me on your show, man. I really appreciate your time.
You got it. Ladies and gentlemen, Clarence J. Pointer. And by the way, he has a nickname. They call you, what do they call it? The nickname?
The Pencil Man.
But how do you get that name? Pencil Man.
That's how I draw with.
All right. Pencil Man. Okay. Much thanks to our guest today, composer, writer, director, Sarah Morin, producer, director, actor, Chase Dudley, and celebrity visual artist, professional artist, Clarence J. Pointer. The Actor's Choice presentation of B&B Productions. Rudolph Brewington is the president. Special thanks to all those ever people that work with us and we can become ever growing. We thank you very much. I'm Ron Brewington. See you next time. Take care.